Hey guys, we're out here at Local Pour. I don't think you can hear me, but you can definitely see my face.
Nice eyes, baby. What are we doing?
We're drinking tequila. So we're drinking tequila for National Tequila Day. We decided to come to a dinner at Local Pour. They were holding a tasting, Casamigos pairing dinner. George Clooney specifically said he would not be here.
A little disappointed.
Yeah, so we just had ceviche, a watermelon ceviche, and it was delicious. And it was paired watermelon, onion, red onion, cilantro, jalapeno, shrimp, some kind of white fish, I think, and lime, salt. Yeah, super simple, really delicious. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. And then we have this drink. You can see it?
It's like a see. She works in the Woodlands? Yeah, she works here, but she's going to school.
That's the Jalisco flower. It's super simple as well. It just has tequila, Saint Germain, which is an elderflower liqueur, and lime. No, just kidding. Not lime. Ruby red, grapefruit, and champagne. And there's 3 more courses after this, so I'll babble more later. Bye. All right, so they just dropped our second cocktail. It's called We Make a Nice Pair. It's Casamigos Reposado Tequila, poached pear reduction, lemon juice, and honey. So to me, that sounds like a bee's knees with a poached pear reduction and tequila instead of gin. You see, there's some star anise and pieces of pear in here. This is my first taste. Cheers. Oh, it smells.
It smells very liqueur-y.
That's good. It's a deeper flavor, obviously, than the other one. It's yeah, it's really delicious. It's sweet, but as soon as you realize it's sweet, it totally dissipates and turns into this really light. It tastes like you're sipping on just a liqueur. That's good. You should try it, baby.
All right.
Oh, and our second course is coming out right now. Wow. This is amazing. This is so amazing.
So what is this course, baby?
And honey orange yogurt. Interesting. This is our second course. Braised pork, salsa bravo, 36 frijoles, and honey orange yogurt.
All right, you excited?
Okay, go away now so I can eat this.
So, how was yours, baby?
It was great. They made this yogurt, by the way, which I'm really impressed about. It's a orange vanilla yogurt, and it tastes delicious.
It was so good. They said they made it this morning. And it wasn't easy.
Right. Very good. Gary finished his plate. I can never eat that much.
Just like every time.
I think there's more food coming.
Ah, chocolate tres leches.
No, it's dessert. Chocolate tres leches. Yeah. I've never had that, so try it. I'm trying to eat more because we're going to drink more, and I've not eaten enough food.
Nice, baby. Good job. We believe in you.
Don't we believe in her? Everyone tell her you believe in her in the comments below.
Tell them about Mezcal.
All right, so
It was much better than the two, except for the fact that
tequila can only be made
my daughter wants to lie and say,
by
I don't think I watched them.
blue agave. It has to be blue agave. Mezcal can be different types of agave.
How many types are there?
Over 500. And with tequila, with their tequila, they toast that in the oven, the piña, the heart of it, they roast in the oven, but with the mezcal, they do it in huge underground pits that's super smoky. Which now I understand, I guess that's where the smoke flavor comes from. I've never liked the peatiness of scotch. I wasn't a big mezcal fan, although I have tried some mezcals. The way that they're mixed with other things are really delicious. So I'm interested to see. They're pairing this later with a cold brew coffee cocktail with mezcal, so we'll see what that does to it.
Is that all for now, baby? We'll let her go for now. Say goodbye. Tell them, baby. What's going on now? Tell them more.
This is a palate cleanser, and you know that's some spicy, delicious Mexican stuff.
And these might be pairings for each of the tequilas?
I think so, yeah, actually, and palate cleansers between them. But this is definitely like, I don't know what the name of the Mexican all-purpose spicy kind of.
Smacky.
This is tahine. I'm pretty sure, right? Yes. Tahine.
You smell good.
Ooh, and there's
Do they go with
an orange one with cinnamon on it. Yes, they do. Yeah.
can't just eat these randomly.
How about your little tequilas over there? What are those?
This is Blanco, Reposado, Añejo, and Mezcal.
And they say their mezcal was like a Hoven.
Mezcal Hoven.
Unaged, right?
No, unaged, yes. It doesn't get its color from a barrel or anything, is what she was saying. It's a Hoven, yeah, a normal, unaged. I told you.
We're gonna let her go alone, okay?
Say goodbye again, baby.
I know, I'm very proud of y'all for not drinking a tequila yet. Very proud. So, I mentioned to you guys that there's two types of tequila. What you guys have in front of me right now is Casamigos, 100% blue agave tequila. Coming from the highland region of Jalisco, so already think naturally more sweet and forward. We actually have a campaign at Casamigos that says no lime allowed. And the reason we say that is because mixto tequila, that's only 51% blue agave, was commonly taken with salt and a lime, right? We've all been there, we've all been victims. Well, the reason that we all chased our tequila with salt and a lime is because we wanted to mask what we were tasting. That's the honest truth. Who actually enjoyed those nights? Right? Well, fast forward to 2019, and you see it in food, you see it in everything. We naturally are becoming a lot more health conscious, and we really like to enjoy premium things. Same thing with what we're putting inside our bodies, especially when it comes to tequila. So what you guys have in front of you is 100% blue agave. We have 4 pieces of fruit. Each one is meant to complement the flavor profile and really bring out different flavors for you to fully experience it. So we're going to begin with the one on our far left, and that is our Blanco. Just to kind of give you a reference point, we talked about the agaves, we talked about harvesting them. Once we harvest the agaves, we have to cook them. Remember, think of that raw potato, it's hard. You want to extract the juices from it. The best way to do that is to cook it. The traditional way of cooking this blue agave is to put it in an oven and slowly roast it. A lot of people have sped up the process and they'll use what we call an autoclave. I tell everyone to think of a steak. You can throw it in the oven and slowly roast it, or you can throw it in the microwave on high for 20 minutes. They're both going to cook, but they're going to taste very different. Same thing with the agave. Once we cook these agaves, we have to extract the juices. I'm sure you guys saw in the Mezcal video that large stone wheel that was going in circles pulled by a horse. We call that a Tahona stone. Less than 10 brands still use that stone process to crush the agaves and extract the juices. A lot of people are now using kind of like the shredder to extract juices. Once you extract juices, you have fermentation where you're converting those sugars into alcohol. And after fermentation, you have distillation. Unlike a vodka, where they pride themselves on being 10 times distilled or 20 times distilled, tequila can only be distilled twice according to the CRT. After that, you technically have a Blanco. That's tequila. Casamigos. We're taking these blue agaves that are at least 7 to 10 years old. We like to tell people to think of a banana. You can eat it when it's green, or you can wait those 2 extra days when it's perfectly ripe. The more mature the agave is, the higher the Brix content. The Brix content is the sugar. We need sugar, right? So we harvest this plant. We do use a traditional oven to slowly roast our agave piñas. We have an extra slow fermentation process that's double the industry standard, and we distill it twice to a copper line still. We personally think that's not enough. We take that distillate and we put it into stainless steel tanks, for the maximum amount of time of 60 days before we bottle it. That 60-day resting period, in our opinion, really lets it breathe, kind of like a wine, lets it open up a little bit, lets the heat rise so that it doesn't necessarily burn when you taste it. So if you will, let's go ahead and begin by smelling the one on your far left. That is our Blanco. And I ask that you compare it in the nose to the one on the far right. The one on your far right is your Mezcal. I'll come back and talk about it. I just figured you guys should compare it while you have your glasses. Very different. I'll go back and I'll talk about the Mezcal. Now, everyone always asks, what's the right way to taste it? Let's start with the right way to smell it. When you are smelling it, go ahead and slightly open your mouth so you can engage a second sense. Yeah. Whoa. On the nose, you should get some of these sweeter notes.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And for this one, we are pairing this with a slice of cucumber that has a little bit of tahini mixed with salt. This is just our fun pairing there. I encourage you to taste the tequila, maybe wet your lips with it first, kind of make up your senses, and then really taste it by having a sip, followed by a bite of your cucumber.
You didn't get it? I guess I finally like.
Yeah. So Blanco tends to be favored by people who like vodka or gin. And the reason for that is because vodka and gin drinkers naturally like that distilled flavor. The Blanco expression is really the best one when you're comparing the agaves. This is the one where you're going to taste that sweet versus that spicy. This is really the best one for mixing and shooting as well because it acts as a very good base to build off of. What y'all think? It's nice, right? Any questions? Very smooth, yes. What about the fruit pairing with it? Different, right?
I like it.
All right, if there's no questions, we'll move on to the next one. The next one is our Reposado. What does Reposado mean again? Thank you. I'm so happy. All right, so our Reposado is rested for 7 months in 200-liter size ex-bourbon barrels. 200-liter size is actually the size of that barrel that you see right there. Why do I emphasize that? The CRT does not require a specific size for aging a Reposado tequila. They only require a 200-liter size or smaller for Añejo and Extra Añejo. So for Reposado, I kid you not when I say, I've seen barrels that are the size of both of these tables. What does the barrel do? Think of the barrel like our skin. Our skin has pores, and when it's hot outside, our pores open up and we sweat. When it's cold, our pores shrink and our skin gets dry. Think of the tequila going into these barrels that previously aged bourbon that goes in clear for 7 months. It's going in and out of these pores. When it's coming in and out of these pores, it's extracting the flavor and the color. So with that, go ahead and smell the Reposado, which should be the second one from your left to your right. Now, mind you, this is my personal favorite. This is what started Casamigos. So this is what George
Ooh,
and Gary
it's
were
caramely.
doing before Casamigos was Casamigos. We're pairing this one with a slice of grapefruit. The grapefruit has a little bit of tahini and sugar. I will be honest when I say I personally like it with the orange, but for the pairing today, it just makes sense to do it with the grapefruit. So you want to maybe cut a piece of orange and try it with both the Añejo and the Reposado. Cheers, y'all.
I'm gonna take a bite first and then a sip.
I'm gonna take a sip first and then a bite. Because yeah, I want to first just taste the reposado on its own.
Ooh, that's yummy.
No, this one.
What do you
Wait.
think of that pairing?
Oh.
Isn't it nice? The Reposado you have, in my opinion, it's a nice medium. You're introducing some of these sweeter vanilla notes, but you still have that sweet citrus note as well.
I know. Well, I did the orange more. So, it so, but she prefers it.
Any questions on
So,
the
I'm
Reposado?
gonna try a little bit. I wanted to contrast, but
So the next one is our Añejo. Our Añejo is actually our Reposado times 2. So 14 months, same 200 liter size ex-American whiskey barrel. Now, the CRT says that you can only use oak barrels when you're aging tequila. The most popular oak used is American. The reason for that, the same way there's a regulatory council in Mexico that oversees tequila, there's one in the United States that oversees whiskey. Well, the whiskey law says that whenever you're aging whiskey in the United States, you have to use a new barrel every single time. So these barrels cannot be reused here. So they send them down to Mexico, they send them to the wine country, they send them to Puerto Rico, wherever they can be reused. So because of those barrels, we get a lot of these vanillas and caramels because of what was previously in them. The second type of oak that's most commonly used is French, and the third is Hungarian. French and Hungarian oaks tend to have smaller pores, so tequilas that are aged in those barrels tend to be a little bit lighter in color. All right, so our Añejo is essentially our Reposado times 2. So 14 months, same 200 liter size ex-American whiskey barrel, more complex, you're gonna get even more flavor. This is definitely nicer for sipping, and we'll actually have it in the next cocktail as an old fashioned. So cheers. We are pairing this one with orange slice.
There's another cocktail.
Well,
Cheers.
I don't know if I can drink all this.
You got this, baby. I'll help you if you need help.
that definitely tastes
I like this.
Wow.
They are making it.
An old fashioned out of this?
It already tastes like an old fashioned.
Ooh, right?
And this is the orange.
you know, it's better with the fruit than by itself.
Never having limes with just
Grapefruit
So proud
or
of
orange,
you.
yeah. And they can usually always do an orange with cinnamon. So I worked with a bartender who would always serve. He was serving someone always with an orange and cinnamon, and at that time I wasn't drinking tequila, so
Our last one is our Mezcal. So I will be 100% honest with y'all when I say the reason there is no salt on the pineapple is because I forgot it. And the reason I forgot it was, well, I don't have a reason. But the salt that's supposed to be on the pineapple is actually sal de gusano. So in Mexico, in Oaxaca, you tend to drink your mezcal, eat fried corn, and all that good stuff. Well, sal de gusano is kind of like a tahini. It's a little bit more rich and spicy, but yet still has some of these sweet characteristics. I feel like a total jerk for describing it and not having it for y'all. But I promise you that the pineapple alone really does bring out a lot of flavor in the mezcal. So our mezcal specifically, I know you guys saw the video, is fairly new, like I mentioned. What we did at Casamigos is we partnered with a 4th generation family of mezcaleros in Mazatlan, Oaxaca. They were only making one mezcal, they weren't exporting it to the United States, so it was a really great time for us to partner with them. They are making it extremely small batch, very artisanal. We are using a 300 liter size still, which is very, very small. Very similar to our Blanco, what we're doing with our mezcal is that we are letting it rest for those 60 days in stainless steel tanks before we bottle it. In our case, we really wanted to make a mezcal that was approachable, that wasn't going to punch you in the face with smoke. We really think we achieved that. And we did that by cutting it to 40% alcohol by volume. A lot of the mezcal that's in the United States is a little higher in alcohol content, so a lot of people are very intimidated by it. Like I said, it's not for everyone. Yes, it's trendy, but it's not for everyone. So that is the one on our far right. Like I said, this is a joven, which would be equivalent to a Blanco. That's why it's clear. And we're pairing that with a piece of pineapple.
I have a question.
Try it.
It's smaller, you make less bottles of it. What's the price point compared to? Okay. Okay. That's cheap for
That's good.
good tequila. Yeah.
All right, you ready, baby?
I don't know.
It's the moment of truth. She's not a mezcal fan normally.
Do you like it? I mean, it still smells really smoky. It smells like scotch to me as well. What do you think? Did you just shoot the whole thing? She's just shooting them all.
Real quick, Nikki.
Looks like you finished, no?
That's different.
When it comes to mezcal, she now says, perhaps.
I like the pineapple.
No. I said it's different.
Well, get that pineapple in there, though. You never know what that
To be
pineapple's going to do.
completely honest, it's super peaty still, or whatever smoke. It's still that same. It tastes very much like scotch to me. Still.
She did. See.
You don't like mezcal?
Not a fan. You do?
Looks like you did pretty good over there, man. What's your verdict? How do they line up?
Pretty straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could pass the breathalyzer,
Orders these mixers on Amazon.
but you could walk a straight line.
Mixers and then comes
Oh, I could do a bunch of shit. Yeah.
Back handspring.
I could never do that.
But now she could.
Yes, now I can.
That's called Jalisco Magic.
Jalisco magic.
You had to have one that I thought was
Mexico. Mexico.
What was your... She's the last of the Mohicans. Right, baby? Mohico. We're gonna do creating a new hashtag. Hashtag Mohico.
Mexico. I did not say magic. I don't know what the word magic is in Spanish.
Oh, that's what you were going for.
Yeah.
I thought you were going for
Mágico de Jalisco. No. Magic of Jalisco. Yeah, everything is good. I always find myself in this like place of where I could have eaten more before I drank all this, and now that I drank all this, I can't eat that much.
Perfect. That's called homeostasis.
I don't think so.
All right, what's going to be next?
There's still 2 more cocktails after this, and only 1 more food item.
What's the next cocktail?
An old-fashioned made with tequila.
What kind of an old-fashioned?
Argentine old-fashioned.
Say hi to my friend Argentina. All right, come back when
They
we...
put vermouth in their old-fashioned, which is different. It's like a Manhattan.
There's Manhattan. Looks like the only difference really between a Manhattan and an old fashioned, and maybe some muddling.
So an old fashioned gets its sweetness from sugar, whether it's a cube of sugar or simple syrup or whatever. But with the Manhattan, the sweetness comes from the vermouth, which is
And then she didn't go.
what?
She went to Georgia. And that was the
Why?
Cheers.
We get to cheers.
Everybody has. Cheers. Cheers, baby.
Cheers.
First sip.
Whoa,
How is it, baby?
that's dessert, yeah.
Is that our dessert too?
Is it bad to say that tastes like cherry cola?
Chocolate tristle.
Not if you like cherry cola.
Do you like cherry cola? Cherry cola. I like cherry. It must be the Grand Gala.
So what is this?
Oh, it's the cherry bitters. There's cherry bitters in it.
It's not, it doesn't like chocolate.
There's a look on that face.
One room.
That's called the takeaway right there. That is the takeaway. Don't you want it more?
I want it more.
That's called the takeaway. Those of you that are in sales, learn something from this.
I took that away and I am not happy.
Tell them about it, baby. She's too pissed. Give a kiss.
But this tastes like cherry cola because of the cherry bitters.
Send me those
There's
pictures.
cherry bitters in it. That's why it tastes so good. It's good. Oh, it's really good.
Give me a cheers, baby.
Cheers.
Was I not smart?
Okay.
So what do you got there, baby?
This is a tres leches cake. Yum. So this is a super light frosting. Oh my god, it's like a cream cheese. Tres leches, 3 milks, 3 different kinds of milks. Probably use regular milk to make the cake, and sweetened condensed milk to soak it in, and maybe cream cheese as the frosting.
I don't know. Look, it's on the top of yours too.
Oh man,
I'm not going back for more.
that's good.
How does it pair?
In my mouth,
How does it pair with drink?
pairs really well.
Very good.
He did.
That goes great.
Pairs nicely.
There we go. Was that too? Was that so hard? Cheers, baby.
The presentation is excellent, by the way.
Does somebody want to do this for me? Let's do
It's still pretend.
Teresa White. Alright, now this one's for the basket.
That was for the basket.
Yeah, oh, he wanted his name so you could have a chance at the basket.
Oh, that wasn't fair. On the basket. That's what I thought we were going for.
Alright, will you help me?
Well, I want mine back in the basket. Yeah.
Do you really?
She's here to win
I
it.
didn't want the 10.
Alright, we're going with the 10 again now.
Let's go for the basket, and then we'll do this.
Alright, second take.
This is for the 10.
Wait, this is for the 10 or the
10.
The 10.
You see, I get all tequila and y'all get all confused. Sasha.
Hey,
We'll take the 10. Don't draw again.
Alright, this is the basket.
I think it might
Cheers.
actually.
Oh, she put my name in there. Gary.
I had a feeling! Yay! We didn't get the tin. I don't.
We got the basket.
Wait, is there more than one Gary?
Long time.
And we had 4.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a fun night.
We didn't need this.
Everybody does get to take home something, and I still ask that you not drink it on your way home, but I will bring this out shortly.
I had a feeling.
You get more.
You motherfucking son of a bitch. Say something nice to the camera, Ricky.
Nice.
Hi.
Fair enough.
You caught me off guard.
That was exceptionally nice.
I don't know. Recycle?
You know what? I like that.
Recycle.
That's good. We appreciate you, Ricky.
Ooh, you guys, we all get these.
Those are pretty.
Yeah, that's what we're taking home.
Those are gorgeous.
Besides something else, probably too. But this is definitely one of them. I love their
Then
lace.
you'll drink it on the way home.
Yes, yes. But they would never serve these. I think just to reuse them. I don't.
Right.
Yes. Party favors. Whoa.
What's it smell like?
Coffee.
And what is it?
A coffee and mezcal cocktail.
And are you gonna like it?
Probably not.
Oh, it is.
Always honest. Gotta love that.
It's gonna. I don't really like mezcal, and there's coffee in it, and it's like almost 9. I gotta go to bed. What?
What? Or nothing. Just go about your business.
What, Nick?
She said stuff.
Not good? Did you say it tastes like cucumber?
What?
I was gonna say, we can take these home, right?
However, there is stuff in here y'all can take home.
I was like, where can I get these? And I went to the
There you go.